Thanks for coming round. We'll make you laugh before you go. Welcome to the Mermen. Welcome to the show.
I just winced.
You winced?
I thought spit was going to come out. I don't know.
Come on. It is time for the Mermen podcast. That's all right. I'm going to add that to it now. I want to add like a
When does the music play?
cry.
Right before that.
Oh, it plays for every podcast?
Yeah. It plays in
I listen to them all.
So it goes like, for they are the Mermen. And then do you usually, is the opening edit like me blowing the horn, or do you get some of the fumbling around before it sometimes?
It's rare that I put something before the horn, but if it's good, I do it.
Oh, okay. If Forrest is saying something like offensive or homophobic, then you leave that in.
Yeah, for sure.
He doesn't know we're recording
Pretty
it.
much every episode, then. Yeah.
He also doesn't listen back, so I'm safe.
You guys killed me today with this Starbucks order.
Why?
Because I'm like, hey, do you guys want Starbucks? And I'm at the speaker, and you guys are still like, oh, is it too late?
I was on the
I don't
phone.
know if you're going to like my order. And I'm like, I'm here. Just give me the order.
That's a Louise move. He always like, I don't know if you're going to like my. It's like
you're going to make fun of me.
He's still embarrassed by his orders.
Yeah, just give
Every
the
single
order.
time-
Like,
every single time I order something, you say it's for your wife, or
Yeah.
I just get shit for it.
because I'm a comedian. I'm joking around. It's not so you could slow me down when I'm in the line already.
I was on the phone.
Efficiency.
I didn't know. I was late getting here.
I was just trying to imagine Dave say the words toasted vanilla oat milk shaken espresso for my wife.
That's on
Do you
the
know how
menu.
much worse it is adding it at the window? Like, it's bad enough having to order that through the speaker, but when I go up to the thing and they're already like handing me my total, there's people waiting. I go,
yeah,
can
don't
I
worry.
add something? And they go, sure. And instead of going like, oh, I'm buying for a man, can I have another black coffee? I have to go, can I have a toasted mocha almond macchiata? And then I go, oh, and also a matcha for my other friend. And
Why are
then
you
they go
so-
iced or hot, and I go, I'm gonna guess iced. And then can I also have a sandwich, but one that a woman would want, like an Impossible burger, an Impossible one?
Okay. Our last episode, we mentioned the earrings and which ear they're supposed to be in or something. I think that's our last episode.
You guys both passed the gay test this morning, or failed it. I mean,
It's funny that you just said Forrest's going to say something homophobic, and the first thing is like, you need to be a man and get black coffee.
Yeah, I
You
apologize
gay.
to my gay friends. I'm
And the
sorry.
sandwich a girl would like.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, but
so-
even those guys are like, yeah, you guys are wusses.
It's okay. So if you're a man, you should only drink black coffee.
No, if you're an adult, you should order efficiently.
Yeah, I know. I normally am very efficient. You're talking about Louise.
Yeah,
I know
as a
it.
child.
Yeah. I was just on the phone, and then I was like, oh, shit. And I saw the text, and I sent it immediately.
But to be fair, you texted us while you're at the speaker box.
No, I was gonna stop at Starbucks in like a minute or two. You don't blow it into the microphone.
Oh, no? Is that a this thing I've been making? By the way, a bunch of hairs came out. I think those are your cat's hairs. Uh-oh. Watch. Cat hairs. Allergic.
Anyways, sorry if I offended anyone. It's not about any particular race or credo. It's about
Credo.
just trying to make you guys the best you can.
Not a character in Star Wars. Credo. He was like shot in the cantina.
It's not about him.
It's Greedo.
I also didn't think you were being racist or when you were saying I shouldn't have ordered oat milk.
Well, that's a racist thing?
Well, you said not to sound racist. That's what you literally just said.
Oh.
Wow. Oat milk? Wow. Very sensitive on the podcast.
Well, we pushed some boundaries last episode, so we're just starting off a little sensitive this episode.
Did we? Yeah, we didn't have the full discussion. We'll have to do that in a couple more podcasts. Somebody is cataloging our podcast. What's his name?
Oh.
Let's give him a shout out.
Okay.
By this time, it should have been cataloged.
Should we-
Otherwise, you're dead to us.
Should we wait until he actually does it? He's
No,
just
I feel
offering
like
to do it.
this is like if it hasn't happened by he's offering now.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't happen by the time this podcast airs, then he's full of shit.
His name is...
Yeah. For all your collating needs, if you need anything put into a spreadsheet, this guy will do it for free. Mm-hmm. No, I think he on Fiverr.
Bailey. Hey,
Bailey.
Dave. Just listen to the new Mermen podcast.
Yeah.
Huge fan. Everyone should listen to it.
Yeah, I agree.
Want me to create a spreadsheet of the stories you guys have talked about?
Hell yeah.
And I said, I won't turn you down.
I haven't replied to him yet because you told me that he reached out to you.
And he said, easy as pie. I'll get started on it ASAP.
Easiest.
And I went, thanks, dude.
Yeah, this guy, Bailey. Thanks a lot, dude.
You're the man, Bailey.
We're very excited. I mean, the Google Docs. I don't even have to deal with that one anymore. I can just have the one of the episodes we're doing.
The only information it says about Bailey is Panucci's Pizza. He's a pizza guy.
Yeah. You don't want to get him a follow? Fans of the podcast for all your Excel spreadsheet needs. Maybe it's not going to be an Excel. Yeah, let's see how he does. Let's see what kind of job he does. And then we'll talk, Bailey.
At Bailey R.27.
Don't give it out. Edit that out.
Follow him.
Until we see the product. I want to see the product, bro. Let me see the product.
Color coding.
Let's see the product.
Okay.
Any other news? Oh, yeah. Who's our other fan news?
We have other fan news?
Yeah, what's his name?
Oh, Tyler?
Yeah, Tyler. I was going to say Taylor. I was wrong.
Tyler did an open mic.
Did he? How do you do? You're talking to him more?
When I'm drunk.
I am doing the same personality, which is my real personality, as I do on social media. So if
you just write.
If you reach out to me, I will. Sometimes it goes into another folder where I don't see it for a while, so I'll eventually talk. But I do like at least say, hey, thanks for listening or whatever. I'm doing an impression of myself. And then, but he reached out to me, and I think he wanted to stay on my Airbnb. And no, I'm not doing that. No drunks allowed. Sorry.
Yeah, he says tomorrow's
I'll
the
let you
night.
stay there, but the cleaning fee is going to be double, dude. I feel like you're going to be quite messy.
He's going to be sending you messages.
No, I think it's out of his way. I don't think it's near where he's going. So,
he said got Richard over there too at some point. Split the rent, split the cost.
Richard and Tyler in my Airbnb. Yeah, I might as well just burn it down. Like I
think they'll do that for you.
The cleaners will come and be like, "This is the most disgusting thing we've ever seen."
We're gonna get a voicemail. It's gonna be like, "I might." My apologies.
Is your accent?
Me and Tyler were having a good time. Things got a little away from us. And then we get a message. Tyler's gonna be like, "We burned down Forrest's house."
Yeah, and the house next to it.
Yeah. Yeah. Tyler says he went and did an open mic, and he said, "Thank you to the Mermen. I don't think I would have ever done it or gotten the least bit of confidence to do it had I not stumbled across y'all's podcast and you invented that phone number." So calling in has given him the confidence.
So we apologize to anyone that went to that open mic.
Yeah, we've unleashed Tyler on the world of stand-up comedy.
Just drunk ramblings. Actually, Louise invented the number, I guess.
Yeah.
It's your fault,
You
Louise.
changed someone's life, Louise.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you did. You did a good thing. Sorry. That's what I meant. Love you, Tyler.
Second quarter.
Hey, this happened a little while ago now, but this happens all the time in various ways. There was some people that were trying to escape Cuba, they successfully escape Cuba in an ultralight glide. It was powered with an engine, right?
Yeah, like a little two-person ultralight.
Yeah.
It's got a little weed whacker engine on the back.
If you don't know, if you don't live in South Florida, to get from Cuba to the tip of Key West is what, 90 miles? I think it's 90 miles.
Yeah, sounds right.
Which, when you're there, they're like, this is the southernmost point of the United States, Key West, and there's a little marker there. And I believe it's 90 miles. And I remember, I think people are like, yeah, it's only 90 miles. Okay, 90 miles in a car is not going across open ocean with tides and weather and all currents and is bananas.
Sharks.
Yeah, that's so far. So I don't even know, flying an ultralight glider, I didn't even know that was its range. I didn't know you could go 90.
You're pushing it, dude. They have a very small little gas tanks.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. You know all this kind of
My dad used to fly ultralights a lot when I was a kid.
Yeah.
We'd go up all the time.
So you think this is the range?
Yeah, I mean, we would go. My dad had the ultralights with the floats on them too. So I guess if they ran out of gas, they could have just landed. But I think this one had wheels. Mm-hmm. I don't think this was one that floated. If they didn't make it, they were going to be.
Well, wait. Maybe they did
treading water.
Maybe they did get some. Because I think they found them. They got because there's no wet.
No,
foot,
they
dry foot.
landed. They landed at the airport
and took off.
No, they just landed at the airport. It was like, hey, we made it.
Yeah, but they're not allowed to stay. There's no wet foot, dry foot anymore. I don't think.
Yeah, no, they called the Coast Guard.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah, there used to be wet foot, dry foot policy. That's what they call it, which also sounds like some sort of term that a racist would use. You got these wet foots and dry foots.
Yeah.
But all that meant was if you were, you tried to get from Cuba, whether it was like on a boat or ultralight or, I mean, a lot of people do it on rafts and stuff that shoddily made, and you made it to land on, if you got your feet on the dry land, you were, I guess, under asylum or something. Like you were allowed to be processed.
It's like the greatest game of capture the flag ever. It's
terrible.
like-
No, because sometimes the Coast Guard will see them off like 2 miles offshore.
Yeah.
And there's videos of people like swimming, and if they get you and put you on a Coast Guard cutter, then
you get sent back.
Now, there was a lot of controversy because there was not the same policy for Haitians.
There wasn't the same policy for anyone. Everyone else.
Yeah. But there was also a group of people that were trying to get here from Cuba, and they were stuck to the 7 Mile bridge, on the pillars of the 7 Mile bridge. You remember that? Mm-hmm. Which would be fucking miserable. Be filled with barnacles and all sorts of shit. You'd be getting cut to fuck up. And there's all these guys, and there might have been women and some children, and they were like gripping onto the. And there was like, is this wet foot driveway? Because it is a bridge. It's in the middle of the water. It is a structure made by man. So and I think they got to stay.
Yeah,
but I'm not sure. But that's like some fucking loophole or some shit where they were like trying to get them.
Yeah, I never understood it, but
it was. But just so everyone knows out there, it's like it's crazy to even do that. That's so things aren't going well in that country. Is all you need to, because otherwise, why would you risk your life to do that?
Do you remember? You remember Miami Marine Stadium?
Yeah, it's still there.
Yeah, it's like dilapidated.
Yeah, they keep saying they're gonna fix it up and do concerts there.
They should. It's so dope, dude.
My mom saw the Who there, and like Led Zeppelin. She saw the Who.
Fuck the Who.
I don't like the Who either. Did we mention this when I saw it? Like that he came on the boat, Pete Townsend.
No,
I don't think so.
Yeah.
You didn't mention that when I was on my Super Bowl halftime show rant?
I forgot. Because Miami Marine Stadium is like this. It's a manatee zone now, so they can't even race boats in there anymore. Fucking manatees, bro. But it's like they used to race boats in this kind of enclosed. It's a harbor kind. It was protected from the wind, and they'd race speedboats in there. And there was these stands. They still exist there. Like they're all graffitied up and stuff. And they used to do concerts too. They'd float a barge in there. People would just sit in there, and then you used to have this beautiful water background and trees and stuff. And boats were allowed to pull in there too. That you'd pay admission, I think, for the front where you come into the Miami Marine Stadium, and boats would anchor. So my grandfather was there with his boat, and my mom's friends, whatever. And at the end of the Who concert there, Pete Townsend like came up on their boat just like in a swimsuit. And, hey, I'm Pete Townsend. Any youngins here? Anyone under the age of 12? That's not what he said, but which was cool. I know it must have been cool back then. But yeah, anyways, Miami Marine Stadium. What?
Yeah, we saw Jimmy Buffett there.
Yeah, of course. He played there.
Yeah. So
I hate Jimmy Buffett.
So you could either buy a ticket and sit up in the bleachers, basically. It's like, a big stadium, or in the stage is on the water, or there's all these floating docks out into the water. So, or you pay for a parking spot on the dock, and then you watch the concert from that side, or you anchor out on the second level.
And they had the speakers going the other way too.
Yeah,
you won't see them, but you could still. It was cool.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
But we saw Jimmy Buffett and a couple other, I think like Phil Collins or I don't know, a couple other big acts at the time there. It was
Collins.
one of the best things.
Yeah. He's in Miami. That's from Miami Vice when he played In the Air tonight.
But they also did ultralight races there. And my dad would race in these ultralight races, and him and his buddies
With pontoons?
Yeah. So they would take off, and then they'd have to go loop around like certain like checkpoints at Key Biscayne, and then the finish line was right in front of Marine Stadium. So I remember sitting there as a kid waiting for my dad to come in, and they'd come by, and you'd see who won, and then they would dress up like characters too, because there was a ton of kids there and whatever. Yeah. So it was like my dad's buddies and stuff, but they'd be dressed up like Yoda and Chewbacca, and they'd be flying these ultralights. I was like 6 years old. Like, this is the coolest shit ever. Like,
that is cool. I would have liked that.
Yeah. And then my dad was into gliders too. Gliders are crazy shit, man. Have you seen those? They're like
I know what gliders are.
Yeah, like super long wings.
Yeah, another plane has to pull them up.
Yeah, either a plane or you could pull them up like a kite using like a four-wheeler.
Does this have something to do with people immigrating from Cuba?
No, it just made me think about my privileged upbringing.
It's funny you should mention ultralights. Yeah. My dad used to race them.
We used to have fun with them. Not flee for our freedom.
When do you remember in the guy that made the boats out of cars? Did you
There's
ever see
been
that?
so many.
There was like
familiar.
Actually, there hasn't been so many.
No, but there's been so many different.
No, but this guy made a car.
Yeah,
it was
creative
like a truck.
things people have made boats out of.
And I think they got him before he got into the shore, and then he made another like boat out of a car
Yeah.
or some shit. He's like this, obviously this amazing engineer to
Yeah.
be able to do that. But that is like, that kind of level doesn't happen often. When my mom lived in the Florida Keys and stuff, rafts would wash up all the time there, and they would have like X's on them by the Coast Guard. The Coast Guard would mark them.
Yeah.
If they picked the people up. So that way, if someone else saw the raft, they weren't looking for bodies or people that were adrift at sea.
We found just empty rafts out at sea
Or if
multiple
it
times.
floated up by your house, you weren't depressed like, well, I guess these
Yeah.
are dead people, like whatever. Like, you know, it still was depressing because it's the reality of what's going on.
It was interesting what they used to make the different rafts out of, including cars and barrels underneath
Barrels
them.
and that's the one. And they'd weld it, and there'd be like the ingenuity was amazing.
Even the paddles, like the paddles were. I think I told you this before. They were.
Louise has one.
My parents have 4 of them up on their wall.
Do you know you have one, Louise?
Yeah, I got 2.
You have a Cuban paddle?
Yeah. I used to have them in the house, and my mom had like paint and whatever, and I didn't have anywhere to put them anymore. And so when I was moving, I asked Louise got some stuff that I don't know that I gave to him. I had forced upon him. I don't know, but I went to him. I said, these are paddles from a boat that people from Cuba immigrated, but they made it. I'm pretty sure because there was a sailboat that washed up at my mom's house, and these people made it and then got out, and then this Cuban artist came and got the sailboat and put it in Art Basel as an installation. Like did some other shit too. I think he painted the sail and something like that. Yeah. So yeah, it's You have the paddle still, or did you throw them out? Because otherwise, that's Hispanic on Hispanic.
That's history.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because I mean, you've kind of mentioned before. There's a lot of stuff in this house that I live in that came from old shows.
A
that
lot.
were
I feel like everything. Everything I see, it looks like
Your house feels like a warehouse on a studio lot somewhere.
Yeah, because of all the shows you've worked on, right?
Yeah. And so my dad kind of gets mad. It's like, man, you're a freaking hoarder, you know? Stop bringing junk. And so, the statue I have outside my house, he's like, cabron, you know? So then I show up with these paddles. He's like, are you kidding me? More trash? Like more junk? I'm like, no, actually. And they came from a Cuban raft. And he's like, okay.
Okay. All right.
That's the only thing he's been okay with.
Hispanic on Hispanic love. There you go. See, there you go. Interesting. Yeah.
Luis, did you have any relatives or friends or anything that came to the United States, like swimming through the river or something, like over the border?
Swimming, no, but they would kind of just hop.
What?
Yeah.
Hop?
It was very easy to go over the border.
Really?
Yeah. So like,
because the only thing, so if you like go in certain places, you just have to worry about the border patrol seeing you, but otherwise there's not like a fence or.
Dude, there was a hole in a fence, and if you ever want to hear something interesting about the wall in Mexico, it's an NPR 3-part series that they did. And I'm not even trying to get political here, but everyone was always like, it's the Republicans. Then I think most of the wall was built under Clinton, actually. And there was a hole in a fence. It all starts with a hole in a fence in El Paso.
It's always a hole in the fence.
People were kind of scooting through there. But they were also talking about all the people that work across back and forth from the border.
El Coyote.
And it was Janet Reno, someone played her, right? And you're Elion.
Yeah, one of my buddies.
Yeah. And it was pressure under the Clinton administration and they built most of the wall, the Clinton administration, but and I'm not a Republican by any means, but I'm just saying it's like, there's definitely been this, it's always been a political game, like pawn game, for any of the immigration shit. That's that wet foot, dry foot. That was Obama stopped that. The wet foot, dry foot.
Yeah.
Cuba. And
Obama basically opened up relations with Cuba.
But wait, let's cut you off, Luis. So you have, we don't want to out anybody.
Yeah, because that was that other thing. Like they call him El Coyote. It's just the guy.
Yeah.
He has a van. You pay this guy to like just cross you like through like the traffic. Hides you somewhere like in the trunk, whatever it is.
Yeah. Behind some hay. We saw that on Breaking Bad, or was that Better Call Saul? Better Call Saul. That was D. Russo was in that scene.
Oh,
Did you watch Better Call Saul?
No.
A friend of ours.
But I know who D. Russo is.
Yeah. There's his real name. It's
Derek.
Derek, yeah. He's an actor, and he's been in a ton of shit. And did you see Better Call Saul?
No.
There's a scene where they're transporting one of the characters is going to go across the border, and D. Russo's. I'm not going to give what happens to him, but it's not good.
Ooh, spoiler alert.
All right, so they've been transported like that way.
Yeah, and like, but I know I was talking with my grandpa about it just like last month, and like he's got all his papers and everything, but he was just saying like, oh no, like it's crazy how much that shit has changed. You know, it's like I don't know if you're paying like $20,000 for a ride.
20 American, 20,000,
$20,000 American dollars
The
for
fuck?
like per passenger. You know, and so I hear that's like holy shit, and I might be wrong. It could be more too. You know. But like, and I started to think, like, man, I should probably get into that business. There's a van
Smuggling people?
What
Yeah.
through like a drug tunnel or something like that?
Yeah, fuck it. If you $20,000,
Hey
five
guys,
people.
I'm Luis. I'll be your tour guide today.
I also, if anyone's going to do podcasting once you're across the border, just let me know. Dude, okay, this is another thing just about immigrants in general. When that whole narrative of people, they're like, immigrants coming here, taking our, do you know how hard it is? Okay, that's not even legally crossing here. You're still paying 20 grand, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's like, I have friends that are comedians and they have to get like just green cards and visa and stuff, and they pay so much fucking money. And this is like of all nationalities, and that it's just like if you want to come here and work and stuff, it is not fucking easy, no matter how you're fucking doing it.
I'm not even saying one thing has to do with the other, but it is kind of funny how for ever and ever and ever, the rallying cry was like, they're going to come over here and take our jobs. They're going to take our jobs. And then now, all of a sudden, we're like, hey, man, nobody wants to work.
Yeah.
Look at all these labor shortages. We might need some people to come over here and take some jobs.
Yeah, take down the wall. That's Pink Floyd. Just so you know. Pink Floyd.
We don't need no education. That one.
Well, that's from The Wall.
Teacher.
That song. That's The Wall Part 2, I think, song. That's the name. There you go. You got it. I'd like to see them at the Miami Stadium.
Brick in the wall.
When are we going to Mexico, Luis?
You guys call it, man.
Where are we going? Your hometown?
If you guys want.
Yeah, you remember where he lives? Or remember where his family has roots? Not where he lives.
Senor Frogs.
Senor Frogs. The name of a town or just the restaurant?
That's who runs this town.
That's the mayor.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome
Senor
if you
Frog.
go there. It's like, you don't want to mess with Senor Frog. I don't even know how to say frog in Spanish. How do you say frog?
Rana.
Huh?
Rana.
Rana?
Yeah, Rana.
Senor Rana.
The frog is the frog.
Imagine if that's who it's named after, just some hard ass motherfucker.
Yeah. King Toad.
Because remember in like what was that movie? I can't remember. Romancing the Stone or whatever.
Oh, yeah. That's an old one.
But it's in Colombia, and he goes to that guy's house. He's like the tough guy, and he's got the little burro.
When
Don't worry about it.
when I came out to
Watch the movie.
when I graduated college, I came out here to coach water polo. It was the first time I spent real time in LA. And my buddy Harry came over at the end of that trip, and we rented a car and we drove just all around California. Went to go visit my buddy in San Diego, and he was like, a dude I played against, and he was an older guy. Went to Georgia Tech, and I just knew him through water polo. We played against each other. So I call him up and I go, "Hey man, Jimbo, I'm coming to San Diego. Can I crash on your couch?" Me and my buddy. He's like, "Yeah, sure." So we get there, and he goes, "Dude, I got bad news." I'm like, "What?" He goes, "I forgot I'm taking my girlfriend camping this weekend. But you can just stay at my place." And he had this cool little like 1-bedroom studio on the alley off the beach, like off the Strand, right? It's like a little surfer nook. And I'm like, "Yeah, this is fucking awesome." He's like, "But I'm gonna take you out for dinner tonight." And we're like, "All right, cool." He's like, "Did you bring your passports?" And I go, "Yeah." He's like, "All right." So we get in his car, and he drove us down over the border through Tijuana or whatever.
Yeah.
And then to this little town called Puerto Nuevo, I think it was, something like that. And it's just a little fishing port. That's all it is. Teeny tiny.
Yeah.
And we walk in, and it's just all, fishermen fishing up for the day and people coming or whatever. And it walks into this hole in the wall. And we sit down, and he orders a bucket of like fresh caught spiny lobster, which in the States, in Florida, like we know, that shit would cost you so much.
Yeah.
And buckets of Corona and all the fixings to make lobster tacos. I mean, a feast. And the three of us sat there and just had a blast for like 2 hours, just drinking Coronas, eating all this stuff. And the bill came, and it was like $24 American.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Coming to Mexico, taking their lobsters.
I mean, insane. I'll never forget the moment of
It's a
that
rallying
bill
cry. Coming to Mexico, taking our lobsters. Then we're taking our lobsters and our Coronas.
Just
Why do you
fresh
drink
hand-cut
Coronas. There's so much
pico de
better
gallo.
beers. Coronas, when I was in Mexico, I never drank Coronas.
Well, we were in Mexico, so that's the
I drink.
that's the authentic beer.
What's the
of
one I
Mexico.
really like? What's the same
Modelo?
name? Some Mexican beers. No,
Pacifico.
Pacifico.
Oh, Pacifico.
That one's really good.
Well, there's like
That's like a good Corona.
yeah.
When
There's
you
like
drink it, you're like, this is what Corona would be like if it wasn't.
yeah.
You know, Corona's gluten free.
Maybe that's why it felt so good. After
Yeah, it's like corn based or some shit. Weird. Because there was this is who told it to me. You remember Joe Newcomer? He was a manager at Fort Lauderdale Improv.
author now.
And then he moved out to Phoenix, and he was managing out there. And now he's an author, among other things. I've a couple of his books. He was in a band too. He was like in a legit band, like they did the Warped Tour and shit. And I can't remember the name. Anyways, he's gluten free. And sorry for outing you. And and he's the one that told me that. He told me that you can drink Corona because I think it's corn based or something. Are you looking this up right now?
Yeah.
That they should advertise that more. Don't you think?
Should lean into that for sure.
I don't know how they don't do that. Does it say it's gluten free, Corona? Or am I talking shit?
It's, well, I mean, as of October 3rd, 2022, Corona is not a gluten-free beer.
What?
Oh, you got
Newcomer.
bad information.
All caps.
Someone should check Joe Newcomer's books. I think they're not factual.
Check see if he's
either.
really gluten.
It's a
Let's see if
bad
he's gluten
sample
intolerant
It
or
has
celiac.
20 ppm per beer. I don't know what the fuck that stands
Parts
for.
per million.
Oh, well, there you go.
Parts per million of what? Gluten?
Yeah.
What's bad? It might not be. So it might not be an amount of gluten. Maybe that's what it was. It's like a low amount of gluten, so you can enjoy a beer.
It's gluten light.
Next thing you need to look up: how many parts per million (ppm) of gluten is it bad if you have celiac?
Actually, that was kind of like a suggested edit or search right after. Do celiacs drink Corona?
What's a celiac?
That's it. Okay, so celiac is like you can't have any gluten. It'll make you very ill, like stomach pains, like bloated, like really painful. Then there's people that are gluten intolerant, which I believe I've gotten as I've gotten older, where if you eat gluten stuff, you just feel sluggish and lethargic and shitty. You still feel shitty, but if you have celiac, you cannot eat gluten because you will be in pain. Like it's like a legit thing, you know.
I think I have all that stuff, and I just keep plowing away.
Well, just keep eating meat.
I just don't address any of it.
And again, I might be wrong on that. Join the conversation in the comments.
Do you know how
5 stars?
Do you know how often I eat in a manner that I should know better, and then all of a sudden remember I don't have a gallbladder?
Oh, I didn't even know the gallbladder thing was coming. I thought in a manner that you should know better is how I eat every meal. So, but I forgot about the gallbladder thing. Yeah, I don't know. Well,
So, what percentage of people do you think come from Cuba and unfortunately don't make it? Like,
I don't think
like
they
die on that.
I don't know if they have those. They had like there was a organization called like Brothers to the Rescue. I
Yeah.
think they're still around. I'll look that up, Luis, since you're looking up. And then it was like, however you say that in Spanish, hermanos, something rescue.
Yeah,
Rescado.
like they either
Is that right? Because I think that was the name of them, Hermanos de Rescado. I don't know.
you either get
And they
pushed off track and just wind up out at sea, or your raft sinks and sharks get you.
I think they were like, they would categorize that or some Brothers to the Rescue. Yeah, Hermanos al Rescate. That was close. He's tuned out. Miami-based activist nonprofit organization headed by Jose Basulto. Formed by Cuban exiles, the group is widely known for its opposition to the Cuban government and its former leader, Fidel Castro. So I think that maybe, I don't know. How many? Okay, keep talking because I'm looking this up.
I don't know. Just I'm on a shark kick now.
Well, okay, that's dark. Here, I think I got it. A makeshift ramp, blah, blah, blah. I don't have it. Official reports that they say, well, this just says that a lot of people have abandoned it. I don't know. How many get lost at sea? It says, this says like 380 since 2014. It seems like it'd be more than that. But
That aren't accounted for?
yeah, but I think maybe there's less people doing that now. I think it was more, maybe conditions were more dire
Yeah,
before.
the stories we were telling about finding the rafts, like that was a period in time when it was just like waves of people coming on a daily basis.
Yeah, but this says, but this article on CNN from last year says more Cubans are coming to the U.S. by sea than any time since the 1990s.
Yeah, the 90s is when I'm talking about.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
And I don't think Castro
name
even
again?
cared. I think Castro was like, see ya.
What's the guy's name that's doing the spreadsheet?
Bailey.
Bailey, look that up. Get us a spreadsheet on.
Oh, now you're making him a fact finder too.
Well, Louise is over there looking for fucking glue.
Hey,
You haven't figured it out yet.
All right,
Bailey,
celiacs
Bailey,
cannot
do my
it.
taxes, Bailey.
What?
Celiacs cannot drink it.
They can't drink Corona?
No.
Joe Newcomer. I don't think Joe listens. Maybe he does. Joe, if you're listening,
Yeah. All right.
why'd you lie?
Third quarter.
New topic. So yeah, I've been following a lot of shark Instagram.
Next topic.
Yeah, a lot of shark Instagram. I think I just saw one that's pretty
Shark influencers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I found one that's pretty gnarly where this guy's like his kids in the back of the like in the water at the back of the boat at the ladder. And the dad's like, all right, wait, okay, go. And he goes, show me the fish you got. And then the kid pulls the fish up like this, and it's like a grouper, and he puts it in the boat. And the second he does that, a shark comes up through the ladder and tags the kid in like right. I don't think the kid got hurt or anything. I think
What?
Yeah, like the
What
shark.
kind of shark?
It looked like a smaller like reef shark of some sort, but it definitely like smelled like that's why you don't keep a fish in the water. You know, that's why you get them out as soon as you can because that shark was just like fish. You know,
Shark influencers, some of the ones I look at, they don't do that. They're always like in the deep blue sea and they're like wearing a.
and they come up and they
like
take the nose and they push it down.
Whatever music is trending in that top moment on Instagram or TikTok, it's like really like and then and they always go by the nose. They go near the nose of the shark and they just like redirect it. And they're like, don't try this at home. It's like, well, don't fucking. It's like.
And now there's this thing
First
where
of
you
all-
could rub their belly and they just go like in a trance.
Well, it's not a thing. They've always done that.
Yeah.
It's not like something that's evolutionary.
It's new to me.
Yeah. They used to. I used to do a joke a long time ago about because there was a friend of my mom's was doing a documentary on the Keys and it never ended up finishing. But they had interviewed some boat captains, and I think this is where it was from. I'm not sure, but one of the boat captains said that the nurse shark has the closest vagina to a human vagina.
Hey, how do you figure that out?
Exactly. That was the joke I used to do. How did you figure that?
Field research.
How'd you figure that? Because you turn them over and you rub their belly and they'll fall asleep. And it's like, yeah. And the joke was like the shark at like a 12-step meeting or something. It's like, first you rub my belly. but how many sharks do you have to have sex with before you're like, this one feels right?
Hey, lemon shark, do not recommend.
Yeah. This one feels like my ex-wife. Yeah. Because he's not married anymore. That's for sure. But, I mean, clearly that captain had fucked a shark. So I don't remember how the joke went, but I remember it was a shark fucking joke. But the shark influencer, like I just, you know what I feel bad. I don't know if you remember when Patrice O'Neill did the roast of Charlie Sheen. If you have never seen that, do yourself a favor and Google Patrice O'Neill roast of Charlie Sheen. It's fucking hilarious because he has jokes that he's prepared, but he just gets up there and he's like, I didn't know everyone's gonna be so mean and this and that. And he just kind of, but it's just so fluid, like so smooth the way he's doing it. And the only thing he says to Mike Tyson, because he was on the dais, he goes, I'm not gonna say anything bad to Mike Tyson, but I'm uncomfortable. No, he goes, I don't like how comfortable white people are around you now. Like, because he used to be a guy that no one would like.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel about shark influencers. When I see them, I'm like, and like, you just redirect them with the nose. And I'm like, I don't like how comfortable you're. Because sharks, look, I don't think sharks should be demonized. I don't think they should be slaughtered. I know some people are afraid to go in the ocean this night. But I also don't think that they should be on there like, and they're gentle giant. Like, look, they're still top predators.
Yeah.
They're still killing fucking animal. I mean, that's how they eat.
Yeah.
And they could kill a human. And when they have attacked humans and killed them, it's because they thought they were food, or maybe they were very hungry or something. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and a lot of people are like, well, it was a mistake. They eat seals normally. Yeah. Okay, like I would like to only eat salads because that's healthy.
The shark's sitting there like, it's an honest mistake. I didn't know.
I don't even look at it like that. I'm just saying I would like to eat healthy all the time, but if you put like a cheesesteak in front of me, I'm like, yeah, I know I shouldn't eat this, but I'm just right in front of me right now. So that's what we're like the fast food in the ocean where they're like, look, I know that's bad for me and I shouldn't eat it, but I'm gonna fucking eat it. It's right there, fucking starving, I'm high, whatever. So that's with the shark influencers. I get a lot of them say like this is shark education, and I get that. I think that's good to show that sharks shouldn't be demonized, but I think they go a little too far and they're like, hey, look how cool I am. I'm redirecting sharks.
What you're saying is that there's value in a healthy fear of something that
respect. I think respect, because I also feel like they do it for like clicks and likes and all that. Obviously, that's what they have the account for. And then they say, don't try this. But if you do, here's what you do. And then they give like some instructions sometimes. I'll have to pull up like go near the shark. Let's see if I can find one right now. That because I follow them, like I hate following a lot of them. And maybe I'm just jealous because I want to do that.
I want to do it too.
What, in a shark cage? You go in there? There you go.
Yeah.
Here's one that's got 131,000 followers.
Did I already tell you my favorite?
Very attractive.
My favorite Shark Week episode ever.
No, I don't think so. I'm listening.
Shark Week. First of all, I love Shark Week. It's the best.
Well, I'm not even going to say which because I don't want to hate on this person.
Yeah.
But all the posts are like this. You know, sharks teach me to be my most powerful self.
Oh yeah. I'm already out.
When interacting with some of the strongest predators on the planet, you cannot be anything else but the most aware version of yourself.
Yeah. No.
Sharks read energy. They will pick on you. They will pick on you if you are showing an uncertainty. Sharks truly push you.
So they're like high school buildies.
This is my favorite. Sharks truly push you to always be present. The strength you have within.
Yeah. Get the fuck out of here.
That is why I love sharks. Yeah, 908,000 likes. By the way, I'm doing it for the sharks.
Yeah. How about just watch this cool shit?
Are you? Yeah. Just be like, cool.
Yeah.
Look what I can do. You can't do this, pussy.
Watch me fuck with this shark.
Yeah. I'm a hot chick, and I'm just redirecting the shark. There's
was that a chick?
Yeah. There's a lot of attractive. Well, I shouldn't say that. They're in really good shape.
Woman.
Which, to be fair, if you are going to be redirecting sharks with your hand, you should be in good shape. You don't want to look tastier than you're already. First of all, and also you need to be pretty good in the water. You don't want to be like just
Well,
I'm out of shape. Yeah. Haven't done this in a while. Great white, 20-footer.
Yeah. What's that one chick's name? Is it Bethany? Who was the surfer who got her arm taken by a shark when she was a kid?
Yeah, and then she still surfs.
Yeah. But I like it when she talks. Which she doesn't go overboard and stuff like that. She's just like, well, hey man, shit happens. It's part of the risk you take. And the shark didn't mean to do it. Thought I was food, and
of course she still surfs.
I'm gonna keep surfing.
What? You know why she has to still surf? Because it's cooler if you're on the beach with one arm and you're like, lost this shark. And you want If you're just working in like retail, and you're like, how'd you lose your arm? Surfing, shark. Cool. Yeah. Can you help me fold the shirt? I was gonna say that.
Yeah. I was waiting for a spot.
As a team.
Yeah. So Shark Week, there was this one episode where the narrator, like you see like this couple, it's like a reenactment, right? And you see a couple on the sailboat, and they're like, so Jim and Nancy or whatever were sailing around the world, and they were somewhere by the Philippines or some shit, right? And they pull into this cove, beautiful cove, gorgeous, and before the sun went down, Nancy decided to hop in the water and wash off and enjoy a nice evening, sparkling blue, gorgeous waters
at dusk.
Like she has a million times before, no stranger to the ocean, whatever. And then the narrator comes and goes, but what she didn't know is that she was swimming in Meatball Bay. and then a fucking tiger shark tags her. And then it turns into this whole thing.
What's Meatball Bay?
Well, they thought they were just in some abandoned island in the middle of nowhere, but it was actually a peninsula where a meat processing plant was, and the meat processing plant just dumped old fucking meat into the like runoff into the bay. So all these sharks just fed there all the time.
It's fucking Buffalo Wild Wings for sharks.
Yeah.
Let's go watch the game.
And she might have wanted to check the map and see that it said Meatball Bay and don't take a little dipperoonie.
Yeah, when I was with Jim one time in Australia.
Wait, it gets better.
Oh, sorry.
So the guy is like freaking out. He's trying to save her and trying to figure out. And in the fury of trying to like do everything, he lets the dinghy float away. Mm-hmm. So now he's like, fuck, my wife's like bleeding out.
We're in Meatball Bay.
Yeah. And so he gets her.
He goes, what's this ground beef floating next to
him? So he's got to put her on a paddle board and paddle her to land.
She's bleeding.
Yeah.
Right?
And paddle her to land. And then the people from the plant put her in the back of a pickup truck and drive her through the fucking woods.
Surprised he didn't get attacked again.
Right? And to get medical help.
Yeah, we don't have anything here. We can just pack it with some meat.
Nothing like putting a tourniquet on and then sit in the back of a pickup truck for 2 fucking hours.
Yeah, when I was with Jim one time on tour.
Meatball Bay.
In Australia, we were in a place called Townsville, Australia, this small town, and we had some days off. We went to Magnetic Island. You take a ferry there, And it's the largest concentration of koalas in one area or something. Like you can go and hike and see them, and they have these giant fucking bats that are flying everywhere. And it's really cool. But there was a lot of beaches, and when you're on the ferry, I was looking at a map, and I said, I just asked a local guy, hey, where would be a good beach to go in the water? He goes, yeah, you go to that beach, and then he points to a beach. He goes, don't go to that beach. A lot of tiger shark breeding ground there.
Yeah.
And then I go, yeah, but the beach you told me is like, it was literally around the corner from there. He goes, yeah, they don't go over there though. I go,
Yeah.
I was like, what? I don't know about that. The tiger shark's like, guys, don't.
Yeah,
we made a deal. Don't go, because a breeding ground. I'll tell you, a breeding ground. If there was that only thing worse than that would be Meatball Bay, where they're but you don't want to go where there's breeding grounds because the hormones, just everything's going on there.
Protecting the young, all that shit.
Well, I mean, that's just where they're fucking, really. So, but
you gonna get shark raped?
Yeah, yeah. But
well, if you do,
it just
pick
means
a nurse shark.
It just means
things with a human vagina.
Yeah, the nurse one's not. This is a tiger shark, though. You don't want to fuck a tiger shark.
That's how they got their name, nurse shark.
I'm just saying, if it's a breeding ground, there's a lot of them. You know, that's where they're going to congregate for whatever it is. There's food source or this or the current or whatever. So, anyways, it goes, yeah, just go right there. They have a lot of nets in Australia. There's definitely a lot of sharks in Australia. I haven't swam in the water too much there. There was a guy that got torn apart by great white in an area near where people swim, Bondi Beach, but it was like off though. It was way off in the ocean.
Well, I'll tell you, that's the one thing that scares me about doing the Catalina swim is that I'm not a graceful swimmer, so I don't want to sound like a wounded like with my big.
Well, that's
logs.
the one reason that Louise and I want you to do it. We're hoping, for some
Content.
Stories.
Do you know how good this podcast will be?
If I got no arms.
Yeah, Forrest and the Stump. That's what we'll rename it.
Louise, coffee to my lips.
We'll have to rename it from the Mermen. Merman and the Stump. Merman and the Stump.
I'd be just a fish at that point.
You're like, hey, just be spinning around on the chair. We'll get you out. We won't let you die. I'll have like a bang stick. Ready to fucking get the truck. Get away from my friend. Wait, get his arm. Yeah, okay.
You're just gonna
take a treat.
You're gonna scuba dive under me the whole time with a bang stick.
No, I'll be on the boat. It'd be a really long bang stick. It's gonna be like a 20-foot bang stick. Where it's like,
super alert.
Put that on the list. We got to get a bang stick. What a funny name, bang stick.
Is
that even a thing still? I remember the bang.
Well, they have power heads.
It's like just a gun on the end of it, basically, right?
Well, they have power heads too, which is like it's basically a shotgun shell that you put on the tip of your spear, so that if you spear something, the power then just poof.
Yeah, but then the whole fish is disintegrated.
Yeah, well, it's for like sharks.
Oh yeah, well, I'm not gonna spear a shark. I just want to.
No, you're gonna protect yourself.
I just want to get I just want to scare it. So I'll get some of those sparklers. Sparkler stick. Get away.
Like a road flare?
Poke in the eye with a sparkler. Yeah. Have you signed up for the swim yet?
No.
Anyways,
I sent them in. I asked for information though.
Shark influencers. Look, I'm not saying you're all bad. I'm just saying let's stop with the energy posts. All right. I love sharks. I respect sharks, and I think I get that that's a good idea to educate people on sharks, but. I don't know. I'm just grumpy, I guess. Whatever. You do you then, so I can just complain about it. Hey, Luis, are you afraid of sharks?
I mean,
you can't even swim.
yeah, exactly.
Can't be afraid of something you're not going to be near.
You know how like most kids, like there's a point where their dad is like Superman to them, and then one day you realize like, oh, I could beat my dad in one-on-one. Like they're just like the changing of the guard.
Didn't grow up with a dad, but thanks for bringing up. Yeah.
That's why I didn't say you. I just said how like people in general.
Have you seen movies?
Yeah. Well, that was a moment for me.
I played imaginary one-on-one against my dad, and I beat him every time. Once in a while, I'd let him win.
Yeah, in your head.
Yeah.
But that was kind of a moment for me when the thing I did the most with my father athletically was go spearfishing. And one time I shot.
Did you do it from a hang glider? Or did you do it from bungee jumping? We speared, bungeed.
We just went traditionally from a boat, but one time we were
cover this up when I drink.
Okay, cool. Thank you. One time we were spearfishing in the Bahamas, and I shot a grouper, and it got hung up in a reef, right, in a hole, and that's when you get in trouble because it sits there and it bleeds. And it makes distress signals.
First, the barracudas come.
Yeah, and then the sharks hear that and they're like, oh, free meal. And so these sometimes the smaller sharks are more scary than the big sharks because the big sharks will just come cruising through the area, but the little sharks get kind of like frantic.
Yeah, they're
kind of like, food,
messed out. Yeah.
So there was these 2 or 3 sharks, smaller sharks, frantically searching around for the fish, right?
What kind, you know?
They're just little reef sharks, little like black tips or something. So I told my dad, I go, all right, let's come up with a plan. I go, because it was probably about 35 feet of water or so. I go, let's go down.
The grouper was at 35 feet?
Yeah. I go, let's go down. I'm gonna, because it was getting to the point where it was getting a little spooky. I go, you get my back and watch, and I'm just gonna see if I can get this thing. I'm just gonna give it one big tug, and if I pull the spear out and we lose the fish, and we'll just get out of here because this is getting a little too sharky. And I go, well, let's just give it one really good go. So my dad's like, all right, I'll give you 5 seconds, go. So I start heading down, and then my dad waits 5 or 6 seconds, and he follows me down, and I got my hands up in this rock, and I'm fucking trying to pull this grouper out, and my dad's behind me, and he's watching the sharks, and I finally, I'm down there for a really long time, and at my peak, at my prime, when I got concentrating on something else, I could stay down for a really long time, right?
How old were you now in this?
I was probably like 16.
Yeah, I couldn't. Yeah. I was just, while you're saying this, I'm like, couldn't go 35 feet anymore. Yeah. I'm so out of practice and out of shape. It's like, nah.
Yeah, it's harder now. But when we'd go over there for weeks. So you'd go every day. You'd build your lung capacity.
Always do it with a buddy.
Yeah.
I think I already told the story about the shallow water blackout.
Oh, very easy thing that can happen.
Gotta be with a buddy.
So I pull the grouper out, and I got it. And I'm like, yes, right? And I turn around, and I see my dad's almost at the top going up to get air. And there's 3 sharks between me and him. And I'm like, oh, fuck. So
how big were the sharks?
They were probably like this big.
Yeah, but still, they'll fucking take a chunk.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
And not on purpose. They might be going for the fish and just hit you.
So I took my hand away from the fish.
Yeah.
And I grabbed the end of my spear, and I kind of dangled the fish.
Yeah.
And I just booked it up to the surface. And then the second you get to the surface, then you grab the fish and put it out of the water. Yeah. And then you yell at the boat, bring the fucking boat. And you throw it up on the boat.
Yeah.
That's the right way to do it.
People are having a lot of anxiety listening to this right now, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, I had one.
It's the same reason when people are like, fucking alligators everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm an Airbnb. People will hit me up because there's a lake behind my house and a pond in the front. And they're like, are there alligators? I'm like, yeah. There's very small ones in the pond. And there's some larger ones. I've never seen the ones like I've heard them at night.
Yeah.
I go, but it's Florida. If it's a body of water, an inland, freshland body of water, just assume there's something in there. But it could be a snake. It could be alligator. Just stay away from the edge. Keep your children and dogs away from the edge and be fine. But yeah, the sharks.
I had a nurse shark do that to me one time. Same scenario, but in much shallower water, where I'm trying to get a fish out of a rock. And I thought it was like my cousin or my dad or someone like here on my shoulder. Yeah. And I'm like, I thought they were trying to help, but they were making it harder on me because they were trying to get. And I just go and I shove him, and I look and it's a fucking nurse shark, and I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah, he wants a piece, dude.
Yeah,
that wants his cut, bro.
Yeah.
Wants the
reef
tax.
Yeah.
What's that song that was going around? Took the cheese tax.
I still got to look up the Barefoot gang.
You don't know cheese tax?
Oh yeah, I've seen that. It's funny.
Cheese tax. It's a fucking dog video. I watch all fucking dog videos.
Oh, I do.
This
I
is
did
the
see
reef
that.
tax, dude. The reef tax.
Fourth quarter.
What's the Barefoot? What?
The Barefoot. Remember I was talking about this one episode? There's these dudes in the Bahamas who were like, Barefoot. Stick your hand in a crack and you won't get it back. That's amore. Amore. Like amore eel.
No, I've got everything you're saying. I understand what's going on, but I don't like it.
He had a lot of sexual innuendo.
Are these white people or Bahamians?
It's a white Bahamian.
White Bahamian.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay, so he's got the accent.
Yeah.
That's always a weird one. Yeah, I grew up with
on Spotify.
I grew up with my friends, the Josephs. You know Brian Joseph.
Yep.
And his brother Charlie. And they were Lebanese. But their mom was Jamaican Lebanese. Like she was Lebanese, but Jamaican accent. And they had a whole bunch of family members that were Jamaican Lebanese, and they would come over and they would be speaking patois, you know?
Yeah.
You ever heard patois, Luis?
Nope.
Jamaican. If we did it right now, it would seem like our last episode. But it's like, no, it's like a Jamaican accent, and it's like words that you're like, what the fuck? And it's like, it's not English, but kind of English. Yeah, it's like pigeon or something. I don't know. Like,
can you give us a little taste?
Oh man, what you coming about with a reefer? No, I can't do it. I can't do accents, but that was pretty close. Yeah, but it would be a white guy. My friend's uncle who was white. Well, he's Lebanese and he was an islander, so he was a little bit tanned, but it didn't look right. Like, it's like when you go to Australia and there'll be an Asian person, they have an Australian accent. You're like, nope, that's wrong. What you're doing right there. You shouldn't be doing that at all.
I just found the Barefoot Man on Spotify, and one of his hits is Jeff the Muff Diver.
I know that song.
Yeah?
Wait, Jeff the Muff Diver. He's a real conniver.
Is this it?
I just know the lyrics. Maybe my friend played this. Jeff.
We had this dude's
Are we
like...
allowed to play this? Jeff the Muff Diver. If he says he's a real conniver, this is it.
I have a feeling he's going to say that.
Yeah. Yeah, conniver. I don't know why I know this song.
We had cassettes of this dude when I was a kid.
I don't know why I know that song. I've known that song since I was a kid. The only thing I can think is that Charlie Burton, my friend Charlie Burton, I think for some reason he had this. I don't know, but how would I know conniver? There's no fucking way I would know that he's going to ride that with conniver.
Here's a song called She Loves My Deck.
Is it a Jimmy Buffett ripoff? So this guy was just like, what if Jimmy Buffett did island parody?
Racy shit.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Here comes the deck.
A flat screen, well, it makes her yawn.
Ah.
A waterbed, don't turn her
This guy doesn't sound like he's Bahamian.
woman really loves my deck.
Hey, it sounds like Dick.
Yeah, all right, we got enough of that. Here's patois.
Guys, this is Tevin the Jamaican patois
Wait.
boss, and you know we such already there, which brings us to what we'll be talking about in this video. Some phrases that only a Jamaican would understand. So,
when he says
if
them,
you want to
it'll be
find out
patois, I
more,
think.
stick around. We're so forward.
His account is Jamaican patois.
Nice.
Here we go. Food. Language. What the fuck's going on? Let's get it ahead here.
Of a person, be careful of a place, or even be careful of an environment. So guys, let's take a look at Chubber Dede in a sentence. You say she pretty, you see, but think twice, yeah, cause Chubber Dede. And that is saying she's very beautiful, but there's danger if getting involved.
Number two, you see me.
You see me means, do you comprehend what I'm saying? Or basically,
You see me?
You see me.
You see me?
I like that one. Yeah.
this is often
You see
used
me?
at the end of a sentence to make sure that
There you go.
a person really understands what you're saying. So let's take a look at you see me in a sentence.
Yeah.
So make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can get the latest video them when they release. You see me?
When them release.
And that is saying, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you can get the latest videos as soon as they're released.
Oh, wait.
Do you get what I'm saying?
No.
Number three, hush ya.
He had
Other
the
English
example.
speakers
Hush ya.
hush ya and believe that someone is telling
Hush ya. But if they were only speaking in all of those phrases, that guy is Jamaican patois. Check him out. Patwah. You see me?
I love that you know the Barefoot Man.
I don't know how I know that guy, but I think he's culturally appropriate if he's Bahamian because it sounds pretty white.
Well, if he's lived in the Bahamas his whole life,
Oh, like he's like a conch of the Bahamas, whatever that's called.
a Bahamian.
They eat conchs there. I know, but a guy that like patois. You see me?
Yeah.
Is you see me? You see me? You can do it, Luis. I think because you're ethnic. Do it.
You see me?
You see me? Hush, ya.
I
See me? Hush, ya. You see how it's like a yeah.
It's just like slang.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if patois is slang or not. But I used to work with a guy.
But they're speaking English.
And he was Jamaican. And I worked with him when I was a marine biologist. His name, isn't it Omar Abdelrahman? So he had changed his name from what originally was because he's Muslim. Yeah, because I remember he would what do you do? Ramadan, not recognize it, but like practice during Ramadan. You don't eat from sunrise to sundown. But we would be doing shit in the field on boats and shit. And I was like, man, that's got to be rough. Like I think when athletes and shit do it too. But he's Jamaican, and he had a Jamaican accent. But if another Jamaican would come in there, I was like, I don't know what they're saying. I think they do it in front of white people. They'll be like, hey, let's just talk about some shit here. Like, see me?
Bahamians, because I grew up like going to the Bahamas often. So like Bahamians, we had friends that were Bahamian, whatever. So I had a pretty good grip on the accent, Bahamians, and like understand.
Yeah, but Bahamians, like-
Ireland is the first place I went to where people were speaking English, and I had no idea what they were saying.
You know what's funny is, I think a Jamaican and an Irish, maybe somebody does this as a bit, and maybe that's why it's in my head, about how Jamaican and Irish like almost talk the same. Like,
Man, I left the airport and I was getting on a bus, and I'm like, hey, does this bus go to the university? And they're like, of course it goes to the university. It's on the fucking... And I was like, I'm sorry? And they're like, yeah, the university goes to the bus. It's just on the sign. It says university. And I'm like, yes or no? I just still don't understand. Like, you know.
I'll tell you another one. Scottish.
That's
they're
funny.
like, they're like, I can't even do Scottish. We talked about it on the other podcast. I don't know about it with the Iron Brew. That's it's their favorite soda. It's like the most disgusting thing ever, and it's called Iron Brew, and BRUH. That's how they say it. And then when I went to go buy it in a rest stop, the lady was like, "This is how they talk." I go, "Why is it this color?" And she goes, "Girders." I go, "What?" She goes, "Girders." She goes, "Iron girders." I was like,
cool.
Okay, that's a joke again, but I didn't know girder that you're trying to girder. I'll never forget that lady.
What quarter are we in, Luis?
For sure the last one.
Yeah.
We're at 55 minutes.
Oh,
Does somebody do that joke? I feel like somebody does that joke where like Irish and Jamaican people are almost talking the same or something. I don't know. Because Bahamian, the accent was very lilting, like lovely. Whenever I'm in Bahamas, I find it like soothing. That accent. You know, his Bahamian.
what's a little sing-songy?
Is our buddy Kirk Meadows.
Oh, yeah.
Is that his name?
Yeah, Kirk
I was
Meadows.
thinking Tim Meadows. I was like, I just started fuck up this SNL. Kirk Meadows.
There was
Who
this
lives
dude.
out here somewhere now. I haven't seen him.
Yeah, he moved out here. I was like,
Yeah.
cool, we get to see Kirk every now and then. Haven't seen him once.
I saw him at John Wynn's gig one time up in Santa Clarita. Kirk Meadows, funny comic.
There was this dude.
He was in Labor Days.
The Bahamas have great nicknames for people. And by great, I mean hilarious how literal they are.
What was your nickname?
And-
Honky ass bitch.
No, I didn't have a nickname.
Honky ass looking fish dealer.
I was Grouper Dave.
Oh god.
There was this one dude named Shoes who used to live on a boat in the...
It's not a great nickname. That's just the obvious one.
Well, I think it was ironically obvious because he didn't wear shoes.
Yeah, no, I got it.
Yeah.
I was gonna guess what it was because it's like lefty righty.
Yeah.
The guy's named Lefty. He's either missing his left arm or his right arm. It doesn't matter. You can go either way.
Or tall guy's named Shorty.
Yeah. So shoes, I was pretty sure the guy either didn't wear shoes
Yeah.
or had weird shoes.
So the guy didn't own shoes, and he lived on a boat where I think water was up to his ankles every day, and he cleaned fish for a living. But this is what I remember him as a child, is anytime you ever saw him, if you went, hey, what's up, Shoes? He'd go, it's a beautiful day. He's like, good to see ya. He was in the best mood all the time.
Yeah.
So that's what I remember about him.
So you're saying, wait, what was this? Knee deep in water in his boat?
He lived in
Was it sinking?
He lived in a boat that was not in good shape.
Just bailing it out constantly?
I might be making that part.
If I clean a few more fish,
Yeah.
I can get this hole patched up.
Yeah. Hey, you happen to have a cork?
That's why I don't have shoes. They're stuck in this hole. So it doesn't...
And then there's...
Wait, is that your only example of nicknames that are great from the Bahamas? There better be a better one. Like,
There was another dude named Circle, and that's because he drove the island taxi and he used to just circle the island.
these are the worst nicknames I've ever heard. There was another guy named Firehead, Redhead. Get it? Yeah, we've heard that one.
Yeah. Those are the only ones I can think of off the top of my head.
These are bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just said they're great in their simplicity.
We should make our own nicknames here. That's what we should do.
Okay.
Before we're done with the podcast, as our last thing today, we'll make nicknames for each other.
All right,
so,
let's do
Louise, you can join in when making the nickname for me and Dave.
All right. Well,
Who's are we doing
we're
first?
at an hour, so let's do it.
Who's are we doing first?
Well, I thought Dave was a stump already. That's only if he gets mauled by a.
What are we Grumpy and Stumpy? Is that the name of the podcast?
Boom. Done.
Grump and the Stump.
Grumping the Stump. Hey, Drive Time Radio here. It's Grumping the Stump.
Actually,
I like
really fucking
Yeah,
good.
remember you swooned a Catalina, Dave? Yeah, that bag stick.
Hey.
Thank God.
Thanks for bringing it up every day, Grump.
Saved your life.
It's a memory I'd rather forget. You're a little slow with the bang stick.
Yeah. Wait, what's Louise's nickname?
I used to always laugh. There was that.
I got one because he can't swim. Call him Anchor.
That's good.
We call him Bob.
No, you can't swim. No bobbing. You sink to the bottom. Because lead weight, but that's not a good nickname.
Hey, Luis, dead weight. Dead weight.
Dead weight?
Dead weight, Luis.
It's got to be shorter. Someone's anchor.
Anchor?
Or rock.
Rock. I like rock. Well, that's a little too.
because the
Sounds like
rock
it's,
sounds
yeah.
cool.
Dwayne.
We don't want to be that cool.
Yeah, we don't want something that's complimentary.
Sinker.
Oh, sinker.
The grub and the stump and sinker.
How about the grump, the stump, and sunk?
No, no, come on.
Let's try with the alliteration.
Dude, which one do you like better, sinker or anchor?
Anchor sounds cooler, but I would have
Cool,
assumed
we'll
that.
go with sinker.
Torpedo. The old
Grub and the stump
submarine.
and sinker. Coming out, drive time radio. Okay. Hey, sinker, get that straw over here. You put it in Dave's mouth.
Look up some facts.
I feel like we would need to use a lot more sound effects on the podcast with that.
Luis,
got
I have to
him.
poop. Wipe my butt.
Yeah. Woo. Yeah.
Here we go.
It's time for the grub and the stump giveaway.
Mustache.
We've
all
tried
I can do.
We've got one of Dave's limbs. Yeah, we've tried to give it away many times.
High five.
Yeah, it's been preserved. Don't worry. Doesn't smell.
All right.
Yeah, you could use it to jerk yourself off. Then you have the real stranger. You know the stranger?
Yeah, we know the stranger.
Yeah, I know. I know. That was the most upset you've ever been on the podcast.
What?
We know the stranger.
That's the hacky joke.
Yeah, I know. But we're doing
You
drive
don't
time.
know what the stranger is.
We're
It's
doing the
weird.
drive time radio. What do you think I'm
okay,
doing? Fucking classic. Like,
All right. Sorry, I thought you
I'm
were-
pulling out gems here. Drive time radio. Getting edgy here. A drive time radio. Like George Carlin used to say.
Caller 10, win a date with a nurse shark.
All right. Grump and the stomp.
Signing off.
Sinker.
2 minutes left. 2 minutos.
Where are you going to be, Grump?
Forrest.net. Look it up. You know, Montreal, Philly, Escondido, other places. Oh, no, that's a private gig, so forget that. That's another private gig. But it'll be in Montana, so hey, I'm jealous.
Hey,
Yeah.
come sneak into Forrest's private gig. Hit me up for details. I'll tell you how to get in there.
Nah, you don't know. It's not in my
Yep.
calendar.
It's gonna be a comedy. The Barefoot Man will be
Comedy
there.
and Key West Comedy. We're doing that together. And
Yep, September.
I don't know, somewhere else.
All right. Thanks to everyone who came out.
I'm going to be in Mexico City for Dias de los Muertos.
Are you really?
Yeah, I'm going there with a friend,
Just for fun?
with Makala.
Oh yeah. I forgot you told me about that.
Yeah, we're going to go down there and, well, she is
Gonna get your face painted?
ethnic enough for us. She's half Puerto Rican, I think. She's got Puerto Rican. Yeah, I think she's half Puerto Rican. She's Puerto Rican. I don't know if yeah, so we're fine. Anytime, but talk to my translator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks to everyone who came out in St. Louis, Indianapolis, and Louisville this past weekend. I appreciate you guys.
Hit the sound effect.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate y'all. It was great times. Come see me.
see
I'm
Stump.
going to be in Chicago. I'm going to be in Grand Rapids. I'm going to be in Boise. I'm going to be in a lot of places.
Get all the dates.
DaveWilliamson.com.
Thestump.org.
At Dave W. Comedy. Stump out.
For they are the mermen.